Split-second cops. Can you spot the danger before it strikes? Hey, how are you doing? My name is Ross McLean. I'm a former law enforcement officer, and I have done close protection and bodyguard work for billionaires. And I've also trained close protection people. I have a love of looking at tactics and being able to see things and be prepared in advance to have systems. I'm going to do a series of these videos where we're going to look at actual police body cams. Can you spot where the danger is coming from, or when the danger is going to start? What the cops do well in these videos, or what maybe they get wrong? Because I am going to call balls and strikes here and tell you exactly why that happened. These videos are for educational purposes. I want everybody to appreciate how tough it is to be a cop today. You're walking around like a target every day as soon as you put on that uniform, and sometimes even before you step out of the station, the way it's going, until you go home and take that uniform off. Let's get into this right away. I'm going to take you through an actual police occurrence that happened, and I'm going to set it up for you, and I want you to watch this and tell me when you think the danger is coming. I'll tell you when we start. So let's get ready for this. Can you spot the danger in time? Are you up for it? Okay, let's set this one up. You get the radio call. It's just before midnight. You're out on your shift. You get a 911 call about a person with a knife who's acting disturbed, and you're rolling on. 6 officers roll up to the front of the building. The caller is already there who called in the 911. They give you access to the building so you can get in right away. So all 6 of you roll in. Now the first couple of segments I'm going to give you here are going to be to set the scene for you for what you're walking up to. These are the police officers as they come into the building. This video footage is shot by the CCTV cameras in the lobby, just so you can acquaint yourself with what's going on. We're not ready to spot the danger yet, but maybe you might as this starts to roll. So as we watch this is just a typical lobby. You come in, they gain access to the front door. Here's your lobby with your mailboxes, elevators to the left. The officers are coming in, they're getting ready to do the call. This one officer in particular, he's thinking here, how can I jam that front door open so if other cops or an ambulance has to come, they'll be able to get in without having to wait and hit the buttons to try and get in. So take a look at the lay of the land. Let me know if you see any problems coming up. Now let's go watch the body camera of one officer as they come in so you can get a bit of a better view. And then we're going to roll and we'll start the game. All right? Watch this one officer so you can gain some more information here. Seeing the viewpoint of the third officer coming into the thing. Here we have 2 elevators on the right. Officer hits the button to open up the elevator because they've got to go up however many floors, right? You don't want to run up the stairs. The officers are getting ready in the elevator, they're positioning themselves. Here's the other officer we've seen before, going to find something to block the door open so that they're there on the elevator. The one officer's got his shield, anticipating he's dealing with a knife. Good planning, good strategy. Now, let's get ready to let this roll. I'm going to take you through the body cam of another officer. Now you tell me when you think the problem's going to originate here. Ready? In the door. Fellow officers seeing you, walking in. They go to secure the elevator. Man with the shield, getting ready for it. In the officers go. Now you're walking with the officer who's going to try to block the door open here. Walking back to his fellow officers, got the paperwork. There's the garbage door. Tries to put these flyers up in the header of the door to keep it open. Doesn't work too well though.
Try it here maybe.
There's another officer looking at him. Bang! Did you see that coming? Did you see what just happened there? The other elevator door sprang open, and out came the suspect that they were looking for with the knife in his hand, ready to attack. Let's go back and watch that again in slow motion. Now here's another angle of that attack from the CCTV camera. Here's the officer working to do the doors. But what do you notice about all the coppers? Did you see that one coming? The other elevator door just springing open and out coming the bad guy? Well, I'll tell you something tactically, these officers should have been looking for it. They all had their backs turned to the other elevator. You know, unfortunately today, what you have to do when you're out as a copper, you always have to have the other person's back. Back to back, looking behind, eyes in the back of your head, if you will. Because the danger can come out of anywhere. In this case, the officers thought they weren't going to have a problem until they got to the floor where the suspect supposedly was. But suspects don't always cooperate. And if there's any hint of mental illness, I don't know if there was or not in this particular case, they can do the most surprising attacks. I mean, the idea that someone would just want to take a big knife and go up and stab a uniformed police officer with it, there's something more going on. So this is one of the tactics that police officers have to be careful with, security officers have to be careful with. Even you, if you're going into a building where you think there's going to be a problem waiting for you because of some other person in the building, keep your eyes open to all avenues of attack. Think where they could come from. Could have come from the garbage room door, a guy could have been hiding in there, or from that elevator springing open. And while I don't fault the officers in this particular case for having their backs away and not anticipating the door open, I will say this, it's a lesson that they learned. This copper who got stabbed survived. He didn't have any really bad cuts or anything. His vest helped him. He got his arm up. That was all good. But this could have just as easily ended tragically for the coppers. So what you want to do is learn from this experience. Now, I must confess, I fell victim to this same premise very early in my career. I was just a rookie, just a little snot-nosed rookie, still wet behind the ears. I didn't know a lot about policing. And I was working in one of the worst parts of a downtown core in housing projects. It's a Saturday afternoon, a call comes in. I'm riding with the sergeant. Call comes in, mother says 911, call comes live over there, dispatcher. There's a mother calling, she says she has her son there who's got a gun and he's just leaving the apartment building. And it happens that the sergeant says, we'll take that, we're right out in front of that building. So we roll up, I get out. Once again, I'm just a rookie. Walk into a lobby, not dissimilar from what we're seeing these officers walk into. We're sitting there waiting, I'm talking to the sergeant. Bing, the door opens. Out walks this little kid. He's maybe 9 years old with a big smile on his face. And the sergeant looks at him and says, hey there, son, you don't have a gun on you, do you? And he pats him on the head. And we get into the elevator and we go up to the floor, knock on the door, we find the mother. And we said, police here, where's your son with the gun? She says, he just left, didn't you see him? And then we hear the door opening again, we look over, she says, there he is, that's my son, he's got the gun. And it was that little 9-year-old boy that the sergeant had patted on the head. How lucky was it that that kid didn't turn around, spin, and start shooting the gun? So this is a tactical lesson that just about every copper needs to learn the easy way, learn it through training, learn it through tactical awareness. Always have your six. Always have your partner's six. That's police lingo and also bad guys lingo for the back. Watch the back of the guy. There's going to be more of these. Let me know in the comments if you were able to see this or if this was as surprising to you as it was to the police officers. If you like these videos, let me know in the comments. Give me your thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you next video. This is Ross McLean for the McLean Chronicles.